on the stream, erase flaps, hey. Talking about life's wild ways, people's passions on display. Every night a new craze, chasing that chopper chewy dream. Mystical world it may seem, always fun on every stream. Living life like a theme, race stops bring in the vibe. Interviews got style and pride, searching through the web so wide. Shop a chewy by his side, tune and listen to the tales. Life's journeys never fail, every story set to sail. In the quest we prevail, late night vibes, we cruise so high. Mystical quest, under the sky, passion shared, can't deny. Living loud till the sun's night, race vibes bring in the vibe. Interviews got style and pride, searching through the web so wide. Shop a chewy by his side. Late night vibes, we cruise so high. Mystical quest under the sky, passion shared, can't deny. Living loud till the sun's night, race vibes bring in the vibe. Interviews got style and pride, searching through the web so wide. Shop a chewy by his side.
We all deep, juice gang crew, yeah. Stacks of cash, we making moves, yeah. Always thirsty, never lazy. Keep it rolling, keep it hazy.
In the streets we hustle daily, got the juice, they all envious maybe. Never fall, we stand united, eyes on goal, staying excited. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Dogs barking in the night, it's just us. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Juice gang moves, we are notorious. From the block to the top we rise, keep the grind, no disguise. Ain't no fear, not no bravery. Juice gang forever savory, turning dreams into reality, pushing harder, defying gravity. Every day's another challenge. Juice gang living with balance. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Dogs barking in the night, it's just us. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Juice gang moves, we are notorious. Notorious. From the block to the top we rise, keep the grind, no disguise. Ain't no fear, not no bravery. Juice gang forever savory, turning dreams into reality, pushing harder, defying gravity. Every day's another challenge. Juice gang living with balance. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Not dangerous. Dogs barking in the night, it's just us. It's just us. Stay thirsty, not dangerous. Juice gang moves, we are. Juice gang moves, we are notorious.
What is up, Twitch, and welcome to the Raise Flames Radio Show! Holy moly, beautiful Friday afternoon, right around 6:13 p.m. here in California. Holy moly, it's going to be another amazing show. Juice gang, juice gang, gang, juice gang, gang, juice gang, gang. Ramon in the house. Ramon, aren't you going live like right now? Isn't you're going movie night right now? Shorts, movie shorts? Is it going to happen tonight? What's going on, Ramon? Happy Friday, nailed it. Jennifer, yes, nailed it. Jennifer in the house. Welcome in, everybody. Juice gang, gang, juice gang, gang. Holy moly, crazy. We be watching you? Oh, nice. So you're gonna do the shorts and have me on the screen? That's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah. There you go. That'll be perfect. Let me get to my notes here. Holy moly. Hope everybody's doing fantastic on this lovely Friday. It's been freaking hot as heck out here. Out of control, but there's a nice little breeze going a little later in the night here, so you might hear my my little outdoor curtains going clack 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 on the windows because it is a little breezy outside, which is cool. No worries. No shorts, just watching you. Yes, here we go. Ramon works in affiliation with Race Flaves. Tonight is the night, ladies and gentlemen. You've come in to a great show. If you're just joining us, if you've never seen the show before, this show's about passion. Whether you're a painter, a artist, a guitar player, maybe you're a business person, maybe you're a counselor like the young lady we're going to have on tonight. Your passion, we're going to find out your passion, and then we're going to find out why it is you do what you do and get deeper into what you do and find out what makes you tick, my friends. That's what the show is all about. A couple of announcements before we start. Yesterday morning, we dropped the Dr. Layla Ali episode on Spotify. That was the episode about, if you remember, it was about acid reflux, and holy moly, I need to go back and watch that because today, even this afternoon, I suffered a major acid reflux, had a little spicy lunch, a little spicy stew, and regretted it the minute it went down because I was and I'm still coughing. I barely made it to the show. I didn't think I was going to be able to do the show. I was like dying, crazy acid reflux this morning. So be sure to check out that episode with Dr. Layla Ali, and she gave us a bunch of killer tips on how to reduce the episodes of acid reflux. I need to go back and watch that. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention. I need to go back and listen to that. It's going to be an awesome show. Cool. Let me get some hydrate. Fantastic. Bubbly, if you want to sponsor me, patreon.com/raceflaves. Hit it up. Crazy. On today's show, we're going to be talking to Dawn Dominguez. She is a therapist and director. She started Windows of Hope, a nonprofit counseling service back in 2020. Earlier than that. I was going to say 2027 or something. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going forward. 2007. Let's slow it down. 2007 is when she started the Windows of Hope. She offers same-day appointments and affordable options for those seeking therapy. And she has a dream of making therapy available to all kinds of people, just like me and you. So we love it. We can't wait to get her on here in a few seconds. What's up, Maggie Cruz? Nice. Maggie Cruz in the house. Get it. So please, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome in my guest, Miss Dawn Dominguez, to the show. What's up, Dawn?
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Wild over there. Yeah, I'm good.
I feel the room already. I feel like if I went with you, I look at that room, the painting, the chairs, the calmness of your demeanor. I think we all need to spend some time with Dawn, don't we? Yes?
Yes. We have 4 offices here at this location.
4 of them?
And they're all,
So you can take 4 of us at a time?
Yes.
So you can take me, Ramon, Maggie Cruz, and Nelda Jennifer all in the same time?
Yes, we can.
Nice. Heck yeah. We'll knock it out. Knock it out one day.
Yeah.
You'll fix us. Crazy. How long you been doing? You opened the business in 2007, but you've been doing therapy for how long?
Yeah, I started university in 1987. I started studying psychology way back then.
Oh wow, 1987.
So I took the time off in the middle to raise the kids and
Sure.
be a stay-at-home mom for a bit, and then I came back.
Nice.
So been involved in therapy for over 40 years.
Holy moly, that's a long time. That's amazing. I think it takes a very special person to do the type of work that you do. Everybody's got problems. I got problems. You got problems. You have your own problems. But even with your problems, you're still willing to take some time away and help other people with fix their problems. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I look at it more like we have growth challenges or growth edges, right?
Ooh.
And so in that place, as what we would call complications or problems come to visit us, right? Behind every complaint is a wish. So there's something deeper inside of us that we maybe aren't listening to or need to listen to. So that's kind of my philosophy. There's more to it than that, but more, it's not really that we're having problems necessarily. It's more that there's a part of us that is waking up and that we need to visit or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So behind every problem is a wish. There we go. And you said it was instead of a problem, you called it a growth challenge. And what was the other word you used?
Growth edge. We have a growth edge. Anytime there's about to be growth, there's going to be pressure or a feeling of resistance. So we need to move into that. It's
Ah.
always wonderful to have somebody and connection to do that. And that would be what I do.
Nice. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
breakthrough, like a Tony Robbins breakthrough kind of thing, huh?
I mean, you know what? It kind of is a little bit like Tony Robbins, a little less. I don't have all that energy. He's
Yeah.
pretty cool. He's got a lot of good energy. That's a different kind of flow, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where do you think for yourself, where as Dawn Dominguez, where do you think that kind of willingness to be able to go out of your way, not only just go out of your way, but to study, to develop a business like this that offers very affordable services to the community? Where do you think that comes from? You know, from a going way back. Did you always have a just heart to help people?
When I was 15 years old, I saw my first therapist, and he was such a beautiful gift for me. And he taught me and told me how talented I was, that I could do anything I wanted to do. And when fast forward, I started university in '87. Right soon after that, my father took his life.
Ooh,
When
sorry to hear
I
that.
was, and I not to upset anybody, but it's part of the journey. He sought recovery here in Long Beach, where I have the center. So I think that a lot of it was I want to make sure that everyone has the ability to talk to somebody. I want everyone to have the opportunity to have someone to talk to.
Did he not have somebody to talk? Did he seek it out and it wasn't available at that time? Is that what happened?
I don't know. I'm not confident if he felt connected with, but the opposite of addiction is connection. And that is what he struggled with. And so I really believe that we all need to be connected and feel connected, and that's what I offer.
That's really cool. I never heard that before. I've heard a lot of different theories out, different approaches that people take, especially with addiction and recovery, but never thought about the angle of somebody. Probably a lot of people, especially around this time coming out of COVID, need a connection because we've all been locked in for 4 years straight, and we've been connecting only like this, the way we're doing on the computer.
Yes. And I do some of that too. We do offer virtual services, of course we do,
Yeah.
because there's people who can't get to the center. And we definitely, it's in the essential connection. It's in that relationship that we find the healing.
Nice.
Right? And with somebody else. It's never alone that we find that.
Do you think, I don't know, because I'm not an expert, do you think that's an important part of it is that a lot of times when we go through something, we tend to retract or go back or go away somewhere to India on a mountain or go in our rooms and tuck under the pillow and stay alone, and the problem's only with us. We're the only ones going through this. Do you think that's a lot of the problem is just we go in instead of like seeking others like yourself, professionals, or even friends who we could talk about these issues? and then hopefully realize that we're not the only ones going through it.
Yes, I think that we learned how to do that when we were very little. Because anyone I talk to that's been through any kind of trauma in their life, who did you talk to at the time? There wasn't anyone. So they only had themselves to deal with it. But now we have, I hope that if we can get the name out there and get more people coming to therapy and understanding it doesn't need to be clinical, it could be in connection, it could be in relationship that we can learn and grow. It doesn't need to be so sterile. It can be soft, it can be inviting.
Sure. Go into that more. You obviously have a degree in psychology, right?
Yes, I have a master's in marriage and family therapy.
Wow. Master's in marriage and family therapy. Some people might get nervous. They don't want to go to a doctor. Maybe they just want to see a counselor, somebody to talk to. Do you have that? Do you have that on the side too, just in case somebody's too worried to see the big doctor?
Yeah, they can see any of the counselors. All of the people who work for me are working on their master's degree right now, so they're fresh and new.
Okay.
And they work on a sliding scale. So the scale is depending on how much people make, they pay, and we have some low fee counseling here, which is really wonderful too. But I'm a foster child too. I was a foster child. I lived in addiction. I went through a lot as myself. So I'm the first one to graduate from high school in my whole family. So
Really?
I did everything here. I started all of this. So I think that anyone who comes to visit, they would find that it's not intimidating at all. It's very welcoming, and no matter who they decide to see.
100%. I think just what you said right there. If somebody hears your story, understands that you're not just a doctor, you're a person that's been through some stuff, you have that experience of being a foster child, addiction, recovery, your father passing away as well, all those issues that you went through, you are a testimony so that you can help other people as well.
Yes, and an invitation to that the sky's the limit, and that if we explore together, we can maybe find that place you want to be that you think you could never go. Maybe we could.
That's awesome. I don't think what you just said right there, those last words, I don't think people, when they're in that dark down place, I don't think they see the light often. They don't often see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't often see the sky's the limit. They don't hear any of that stuff. They just hear life sucks, or people are telling them life sucks, outside influences, negative influences, plus their negative self-talk, and they're living in an unhealthy state. And so I think if anybody's listening right now, exclamation windows in the chat, you're going to see her website. If you're struggling with any of these things we've talked about so far, suicide, drugs, recovery, you just want to talk to somebody, maybe you're just having a tough time, exclamation windows in the chat, you're going to see her website, you're going to click on it, you're going to be able to get yourself in to see her. I'm already getting healed right now just by talking to her, just hearing some of these things. Imagine you're going through some stuff right now, and I know you never hear nothing like this. I know you don't hear, you might be in a place, I feel like I'm talking to somebody right now that you're getting a lot of negative influence, you're not getting a lot of positive stuff, so I'm glad that Dawn's with us right now. This is incredible. Without giving any names, you talk about some of the more difficult cases that you've had in the past. Some things where somebody thought, like, there's no way Dawn, I've gone to recovery, Dawn. I went to the hypnotherapist, Dr. David Ali. Boom, 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 boom. I went to India. I talked to the guy on the hill. I talked to this person, and there's no way, Dawn. There's no way you're gonna fix me. Talk about that person or that case.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. There's two ways to go about this. I could talk about a case, or I could talk about that feeling and that thought that you're having and that we're talking about here. And that is that we're on a journey, and it's a life journey. and there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be different things that occur. My little girl that was wounded was very young. And so as things come into my life, she shows up. My younger part says, hey, what's going on? And I start to go into what people call a traumatic response, a post-traumatic stress response, right? And in that, I know how to be with that now. So my work is in helping people know how to be with that part of themselves or in that experience differently, with that connection that we create. And so some of those cases, I've had couples that are living in separate houses and they come back together and they bring a stronger connection. I've had people who are suicidal decide to stay alive. I've had people in addiction and find recovery again. As we know, many times we have to find recovery a few times before it's finalized, but we're never really done, are we? We're still moving, we're still forward. So I guess what I would say is we're never actually at completion. We're always moving forward. And now that I've mastered this thing, this new one's coming, this new experience just happened and woke all that back up again. Well, guess what? We've talked again, or and you have the tools now how to deal with that. I can't take away the pain that I experienced from my life. I'm still hurt. I'm still the little girl.
Right. But you said something interesting. Like, I don't think when we think about a past trauma, we certainly don't think, like, the first thought in our head is, let's go back there. let's go back to that little girl or that little boy. Our first thought is, I don't even want to think about that. Let's hide it. Let's bury it away. Let's cover it with drugs. Let's cover it with alcohol. However we need to do to not think about that past trauma. But you're giving them the tools to actually live. And I think that personally, that's helped me in the past, where I used to like try to push things away. And I think it was Goggins, hate to mention Goggins, but he talks about how he dealt with his trauma and dealing with it straight head on, and how much stronger it made him. And for me, anything that I've had to deal with and I finally faced it, being not afraid to face it, facing it head on, it's totally made me stronger. So he was right. And I think that's probably some of the stuff that you're doing, but in a professional environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go, the way out is through. We move towards it, not away from it. We don't want to run from it. We want to join it and be with it. If I judge the part of me that is the wounded part and I don't chill with that part, guess what? Now I'm doing the same thing my parents did when I was little and not listening or hurting me further.
It's a historical, most of our parents, especially 50s, 60s, going through the 60s, drugs, alcohol, all of them. I don't know anybody's parent that didn't go through that, especially going through the 60s and 70s. 60s was a wild time. 70s was a time of like trying to figure out what the heck they just went through and how do we move forward. And then how do we get in the 80s? And then we get in the 80s and we're trying to work and get all and be all intense. And the 80s is all about coke and going fast. So it just gets worse. And so there's all kinds of these like people, like these traumas, like this ocean of trauma I want to describe that has been waved over the past 30 some odd years, 30, 40 years.
Yes. And so, and without hating on all of that, we accept it and we join it and we learn to be with that part. It's important that we integrate all the parts of our life, even all those things that happened to me. I started going into foster homes at 3 years old.
Jeez.
Little baby girl.
You have no understanding of what's going on when you're 3.
No, clueless.
Yeah.
I learned so much from like 3 to 6 that I apply today into my work. It's amazing. That's part of me.
Wow. You smile when you say it.
Because I visit her. I do it. I do the work too. I have a therapist. I do it too.
That's amazing. Can you imagine, if you're listening right now, thinking about your trauma, whatever that is, if you thought about it right now and you thought about it and you smiled like Dawn. Can you imagine getting to that point? That would be a amazing, amazing, like, part of your journey that could only make your life better, right? Because it's just a step in the right direction when you finally like internalize the trauma, and you can live with it, and you take it as part of you, just as much as your skin, your beard, your hair. It's part of you, and you accept it. That's part of the big step, right?
Oh, yes, yes. And then making a change in there, we go in there into the room, like when we're talking, and we make a change. We can do something different. And it's beautiful. It actually works. It's amazing the work we do in here. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about for somebody like Nailed It Jennifer, who said sometimes you're in that dark spot and you don't even know you're there? What about the people that don't know they're there? That's a great point, Jennifer.
Yeah, we don't know. That Jennifer said that her name's Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jennifer, we don't know. I do it too. I dissociate, and then I'm not with myself anymore, and I'm completely unaware. What we do have for those of us that are that way, kind of like, let me put it this way. I had back surgery when I was 16 years old,
Whoa.
and I have bars in my back. So I have to go for continuous care, right? I can't just pretend like I don't have bars in my back or issues with that, right? I have to continue moving forward with that. So I get continuous care, massage, chiropractic, all of that. I see the surgeon and get checkups. With those of us who've been through real trauma, like no joke trauma, we've been through some stuff. We need somebody we check in with. I see a therapist, and I will until I'm passed away, because I've been through so many things. I mean, maybe after too, I don't know what happens later, but through that process, I'm connecting with somebody else, and then she's noticing, hey, you seem like you're maybe not yourself today, or something seems different.
Off.
It's not every week necessarily, but maybe it's every other week, and maybe it's once a month. But we have that check-in time that we see, especially those of us with big stuff. I'm not talking about everybody who's going in for this or that, but I do it too. I dissociate.
Wow.
And then I'm unaware. Yeah.
Yeah. Great point. So it's crazy to yeah, there's some big ticket items, I call them, like bigger things and bigger traumas. There's little ones. Should we worry about, I mean, if they're big, you're gonna need some help. But it's, say, like, somebody just like is living their regular day-to-day job. They're taking the brown bag to lunch every day. They're just doing their thing 8 to 5, and they do people, even like small problems, maybe if they have like small problems, and if they don't deal with those small problems, does it tend to over time grow into a bigger problem? So then maybe my point is that maybe everybody should at some point see a therapist.
I agree with that. Yes. I think that I think sometimes we think we have small problems, like I did. And then in my 30s, I had a pregnancy that really kind of sent me into a weird, like, exactly, Jennifer, what you were saying. I was unaware. I was very confused. I was having a hard time, even with what I know. It was really weird.
Was it a difficult pregnancy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and emotionally, I went through a dissociation during the pregnancy. So
Sure.
I hear her completely. And in that place, I was forced to visit it, but I look at it like a splinter. If I get a splinter and I don't, it's a little splinter. It's not a big deal. Over time, pus starts to grow around it, all kinds of stuff. My life, everything
Turns green. Your finger falls off. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to pull it out.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of the pus. We got to handle the situation.
Operation.
Yeah. So it's like that, I think. And then I think sometimes, like she was saying, we're unaware. And so we're just kind of flowing, and we're making choices based on those wounds.
Right.
Based on their trauma, we're making choices in our life. Like you said, oh, I'm just drinking socially. It's no big deal. A little bit of wine, a little bit of this. But then guess what? It's a bottle a night, and we don't even know because it happens so quick, right?
100%.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's my whole life is been or was alcohol. So and that's from 10 years old all the way till my daughter was born. So I've been sober 17 years exactly. Thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. But I talk you as I want to hear you say this because I tell my kids this all the time. Like I tell them, look, you don't want to go through that dark place. Like you don't want to go through where I went through, where I couldn't stop, where I ended up having to go to like the army to because I didn't want to tell my parents I had a problem. I went to the army and just got sober that way, or didn't completely get sober, but it helped me get off other stuff. So talk to the kids out there that are like dabbling in the little puff little pin, smoking a little doobie here and there, and then oh, there's this acid or this party, or oh, there's a little snort down the way down there at the bathroom. How does that progress, right? It progresses, and probably the reason.
Yes. What we need to do is we need to make our choices, and I tell all the young people this. I raised quite a few children myself, so
How many?
I know about this. I raised 6. I
Wow.
birthed 3. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I had bonus children that I took care of as well.
Blessing.
So I all the way through high school. So I get this. I understand this. But I think what's most important is to not tell children what not to do. Of course, we have rules and guidelines, but they need to know what they are really going to accomplish or what they want to work towards. And if they know that, then what are the steps? What are the SMART goals working towards that goal? So if they want to, whatever they want to be when they grow up, right? Where do you want to live when you grow up? What do you want to accomplish? When you're 25, what do you hope your life to look like? And what steps do you need to take? With that comes safe sex, right?
Sure.
With that comes, and that's not just disease, that's pregnancy and other things that might get in the way if you do that too soon.
Yes.
It's not that it's not wonderful, it's just maybe too soon. And then the drugs are absolutely going to get in the way of creating that goal, that life dream that maybe that you wish that you could get or have. Because guess what? We can do it. Look at me. I did it.
Yeah.
I graduated from continuation school, and I taught for Chapman University as master's level.
Holy moly! I'm gonna clip that because I know some people that are going through the same thing.
Right? But if I can do that, you can do it. Like I can help you figure out like what is the block in you stopping you from knowing that. My mother told me she told me you're stupid. I buy you books. I send you to school. You're still stupid. All these kind of things. The message is, and I don't mean to be, I'm not mother hating or anything like that. I love my mother. She passed away in 2017. So I'm not here to do that to our mothers. But what I am saying is those messages that I learned, I didn't let them get in my way because I had a therapist who helped me figure that out. I could figure that out.
I hope that is that one of the things that helps, because here's the thing also, when you're 17, 18, 19, 21, I know for me, I didn't know what my goals were. I just wanted to rock and roll and be in a band and drink beers all day in my dad's garage. How do you start getting their mindset to be on goals at all if they have no goals whatsoever but eating and playing video games?
Yeah, when I'm talking to the kids specifically, so are we talking from the parents' point of view, or are we talking from the therapist's point of view?
Well, let's start there. Let's start with tell me what to tell them to get them. I try to be as positive as possible, right? I tell them, do this, try to create a business, try to, motivate them. But there are other influences that they have that just say, well, this is okay just to be, and that's it, and there's no other thing. But me, I try to let's go forward, let's do better things, let's do this. Am I on the right track? Talk to me.
Yes, and I love that you said positive. I try to be positive because I come from the school of thought of positive discipline by Glenn Nelson, Jane Nelson, and Jane Nelson, and I want to get their names right. Jane, if you look up Jane Nelson, you'll see it. Positive Discipline is the book, and they have it for teens and they have it for littles and all this kind of stuff. But back in the
Beautiful.
day, in the 80s, all we had was Positive Discipline, the basic book. She's gone further with it. In that place, we allow our children to have natural and logical consequences. The logical consequences is collaborative. We're part of that. But what we want to do is start to create a plan. We want to find out, sit with them. What are you interested in? Connection. Remember, connection is key. If I'm connected to my kids in their mistakes, in their love, in their growth, if I'm connected in all of it, if a child feels like they're a disappointment to you, nobody wants to feel like a disappointment or like they're not accomplishing something. We want to be proud of all of the little things that they're doing and be connected with them at that level, because they have to have challenges, you guys. They have to have them. If we don't have them, we can't grow. They have to make mistakes, and they have to be allowed. And then there needs to be consequences for the mistakes.
There you go.
In love, connection.
Because I was gonna say, like, you're pumping them up. You're trying to be positive, but then like they do something wrong. You are disappointed, and you should be honest in it with them, right? And be like, I'm disappointed in what this behavior or this action that you did, right? Because I think on your point, I think that's the part I'm missing is I should be like, because the reason why I'm disappointed is because it's affecting the plan that we had in place. Maybe that's the missing link that I'm missing.
Well, this is going to take longer. Then this could be a whole nother one of these.
Oh,
Because,
nice. Next month.
like even when my clients come in, they are not expected to get better. If there's pressure on somebody to behave a certain way because we don't know their plan, that we don't know their life journey, we don't know where they're going to land, and so whatever plan, it needs to be a flexible plan because who knows where they're. I know that's hard as a parent.
Yeah, that is hard as a parent. But it's crazy. It's crazy that it's hard for me as a parent because it's exactly like it's crazy at this age. I'm like, this is hard, but yet I remember when I was their age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was way all over the place. I had a lot of crazy ideas. So, and then I just got lucky and fell into something and rock and roll. So you're right. You have to have that openness with the flexibility of the plan.
And what I taught my kids too, and I talk to the kids here that come to visit me here, one of the things that I talk about a lot is that, okay, we don't know. Maybe we don't know right now. Make sure you have choices in your future. Make
Choices.
Sure there's choices. So if you take too, so let's say you don't have a plan and all you're doing is smoking weed in the garage and watching TikTok or whatever it is you're up to.
Yeah.
Guess what? Now that is leading you to less choices. So it's important that we have choice. So make sure that you are opening up your so what, maybe you want to be a hairdresser, maybe you want to play sports, maybe you want to be in a band, but guess what, having an education is going to help you with that,
right?
You're going to talk to people, so you might as well in the interim maybe just do something you're interested in, do art, do whatever, do music, but get some type of education or background so that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you need to be present. You can't be fogged out, checked out. You can't, that won't work.
You're talking about the parent?
Either parent or child, any of us. Like, if we're checked out, we're out. If I'm smoking weed, like, I could do that. I told my daughter that. I'm like, I'm going to pick up weed, sit in the backyard, get my phone out. I'm going to chill out. She's like, I see what you're doing.
So, yeah.
I'm not going to do that. But my point is that any of us could check out like that. Not just the littles, but us too,
Yeah. That becomes a problem. But I think that's a huge one right there, where you, like, if you had piles of challenges, I mean, not challenges, but because you're going to have challenges, that's easy, but piles of choices, like you had cards of choices instead of like one card of a choice, then you're opening up yourself to so many opportunities, so many chances to land on something that you might love and have a passion for, and then it becomes your career.
Yes.
So it's the
And if I'm checked
choices.
out, I'm going to find it. Yeah, yeah.
And if you're checked out and you're stoned, you're just stoned. You're gone. You're like out of yeah.
The other thing I tell the kids too, and this is actually, people listen to this. If you stay high, guess what? You're going to be home for a lot longer. But if you don't, at 18, we could probably find a way that you could actually go to university or go to the army or go to the Navy or whatever it is you're really interested in.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. How? Because guess what? You'll stay stuck for longer if you're in that place.
100%. Yeah, I just gave me a flashback of like chilling in my room and just staring at my acoustic guitar. And I mean, I used to be a musician. I used to play, but then it got to the point where I was so baked, I would just stare at the instrument like that. For that long, for longer than that. And so you're right. You're literally spaced out is the right word, people. Don't get spaced out, kids. What's up, J-Rob? J-Rob in the house. Painting Polish in the house. What's up, guys? Hello, hello. Juice Gang Gang, Juice Gang Gang. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're just joining us, we're with therapist. She has a master's of psychology in counseling and psychology. She has a business called Windows of Hope. And this is in, you said it was in Long Beach? Or what city is it?
Yeah, we're in Long Beach and Palm Desert right now, and virtual as well.
Long Beach and Palm Desert. Exclamation windows in the chat. You want to get the website, click on the website, get yourself an appointment. Whatever you're dealing with, she can walk you through it and make it happen. Let me ask you another question. We're probably gonna have to have you back, like maybe once a month or something like that, because depending on what we're dealing with, because we could go on forever. But do you start to see, like, as you're doing this over the years, you've been doing it for 40 years, do you start to see a pattern in the way humans seem to interact? Let's talk about maybe now we're older, we're adults, and the way that we interact as humans and adults and parents or not parents or just adulting. Do you see a certain pattern at the way people in general seem to like react to each other? And I think it's a very important question right now, because coming out of COVID, being trapped in our houses or losing work and not having the right funds, and now we're out of the house. Maybe some of us are back to work, but now things have gotten way too expensive, and there's a lot of stress, I think, on the world right now, at least in America. A lot of stress and a lot of things going on. Are you starting to see patterns throughout these 4 or 5 years that this stuff has been going on?
I think I work so hard to not see specific patterns so that I could treat each person as a unique. Even in addiction, each person who comes in, each addiction was a way to dissociate from a trauma experience, and so each person is unique and different, all of us, in everything that we're dealing with. And so I work so hard at not allowing for that whole DSM clinical. I do DSM, of course I do.
Yeah, most people do. That's why I asked. That's why I use the word pattern, because most therapists, Tony does the same thing. Patterns. There's patterns in everything, right? So you're different. You're trying to not see the pattern and dealing with the person on an individual level. That's very unique. I haven't run into a lot of therapists like that.
Yeah, their unique pattern that they bring forward, that they learned in their family, that maybe has been inherited through generations, but their unique self that they have created through their experiences, through their genetics. But each of us is different and unique and needs to be treated relationally in connection.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's amazing. As you guys can see, she puts a lot of emphasis on the person, on the individual, the thing that you're going through, the thing that made you, right? The thing that, like you said, that the pattern that you learned for yourself So it's an individual situation.
And that's why, like, I'm the strange one in my family. I was the unique one, and they didn't know how to be with me, and it makes sense because I am different from my family.
How were you different from your family?
How am I different? I kick back at what they tried to tell me. I'm the same in some ways in that I look like a lot of them. But I'm educated.
Hmm.
I became educated. I made life goals. I made changes. I didn't party as I grew up. I stopped all that. I changed the pattern.
So you kind of walked away from the status quo of there. Usually we see status quo as a good thing, like doing things. There's also the bad status quo, like the way people are operating in life in a negative way, and then kids pick up on that and gravitate to it and start to keep going, and then it continues. You decided to go against that, get yourself educated, get yourself goals, and become the person you are, and create the business that you are, right? Is that what makes you different?
Yes, and there's more ways, so much, because I think my mom said when I was born I was even different. She said you were born an old soul. You were older than you were born. So
Interesting.
uh-huh.
Let's talk about some of the things that the Windows of Hope. What do you call it? Is it a counseling office, or is it a counseling office, right?
The counseling center.
Counseling center. So this is a nonprofit organization. Everybody can get help. It doesn't matter how much you make. Actually, you're just going to look at what they make and use a sliding scale. Is that correct? To charge them?
Yes. So all fees. If you want to see me, I have a set fee. But all of the people who work for me at the center and that are counselors here, are on a sliding scale.
Oh, that's awesome. So you can get a Morton Steakhouse, or you can go get the McDonald's, which is still good stuff. It'll still nourish you. You'll still get nourished. Right.
I'm mostly on referral, but I do see some people who come in fresh. I typically just refer, but I do take some new clients as well if people are interested, and I specialize with couples in Imago Therapy.
Imago Therapy? What is that?
Relationship. It's so it's spelled IMAGO. Harville Hendrix was the starter of.
That's a Greek word, right?
Yes, the Imago, the image of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I help couples connect at that level of I'm sorry. Can you do something about that? I'm sorry. There's a loud noise coming.
Someone watching cable. It sounds like someone's watching cable over there.
Yeah, they need headphones.
Is Anthony watching cable?
We're real time, and I want to give you all that I am. And
we're almost done. Tell them we're almost done. 2 minutes.
Yeah,
2 minutes.
That won't work because we got things. Well, clearly I have my own distraction abilities too. So tell me again, where were we?
So you were talking about you brought up a Greek word, imago, and it's the image of is the Greek word. So you're talking about marriage counseling. That's what you call your marriage package, Imago. What are these? What is different between that package and say some other package that somebody's offering as far as marriage counseling?
Yes, and to be clear, it's not just marriage. You don't have to be married.
Oh,
it's two people, couples. So typically it's people who are in romantic relationship, but I do father-daughters together. I do siblings. I do a lot of two people.
So relational, is that what you would call it?
It's
relational between the two people. They're having problems. Father and daughter aren't getting along. Mother and son aren't getting along. Brother and brother maybe. And it could be husband and wife or partner or anybody. There's a two that's having a problem.
Yes.
Wow.
And I do a dialogue process, and so in that process I help them communicate in a way that they're listening to understand, not listening to respond. I'm listening to understand, said to me, and I hold that information. I let it sit in my body. I try to hear it, and I try to understand the other so that they make better sense to me. And then I can share what I know about that. And then we come up with a solution.
That's pretty awesome. That would take a lot of patience if you're married for like, say, 15, 20 years. And you're like, I'm going to listen and understand. But that's probably the problem. We're not listening, right? We're not listening to the other person.
We're just shooting back and forth and playing ping pong rather than catch.
Let me ask you, why does it become a competition? Like, why does every relationship become no matter who you are, if you're married for a long time, it always becomes, I know more than you, or I'm better. It always becomes a competition. Why are we like that?
Yeah, and everyone does that. Now, talking about patterns, I love that you brought that up, because that's exactly what happened.
Right.
Because whenever we met in the wound. Whatever was missing in me when I met my husband, he filled it. He that's what lit me up. That's what made me excited about him, right? Is that he had something that I was missing when I was little. Right? He was the imago. He's the parent that I'm hoping to. He's got the thing that I can learn from. I can get something from him that I was missing when I was little. But guess what happens? We meet at that. That's what we call passion.
Mm-hmm.
We meet at the place where we were wounded, double injured.
It's like two negatives exploding in an atomic bomb or something like that. The passion, amor, romantica.
Yes.
It is stuff we can't talk about on this show because it's a family show. Okay? But it's love. Okay?
Is it a family show?
It is a family show. We're doing fine. You're doing better than most hip hop artists I have on here. You're doing fantastic.
Okay, because we go to cool places. We talk about stuff. Okay.
Nice.
So then what happens is over time, we start to bump up in that space into the conflict. It's the same. So when we fall in love in the beginning, that is an old brain, a reptilian brain behavior. I'm in a reactive love space. I'm not in a conscious love space when I met him. Then we move into reactivity in the conflict, in the power struggle, which you called competition.
Yeah. So why? And you're probably going to answer this, but I want to make sure that I get this question in before you do. If the other person, if I'm feeling for you what you were missing, and you're feeling for me what I was missing, that's the perfect deal. Like, why does it get all messed up? We should be honoring that.
Yeah, no, because they can't.
They can't.
The whole point is they can't feel it. Like, we just are
okay. We're not the thing that they think we are. They find out that we don't make a lot of money. And then they're like, oh, fuck. This guy, he showed up in an Uber large, and now we're freaking walking everywhere. Come on.
And now you represent my parent.
Now I'm back to the messed up people that you used to be. I'm just a person. They find out you're a real person. Is that the problem?
Yes, real human. And I'm not your parent. I'm not the one that did and that's what I help people find. In the relationship, I help them go in, and I help them find where that original wound was, and then we heal it that way. It's easier with the couple than it is with the individual.
Yeah. So if they're going through therapy with you, they pay you a certain amount of money, and they're going along the process. And at the 6th month, you tell them, look, Ray's not the thing that you thought he was going to be. He's not going to fill your vanilla ice cream dream. Don't they get pissed because what? No, they don't get mad.
No, they love it.
They love it.
With couples, oh my gosh, there's so much relief in the work, and I have very rarely have I seen anybody even break up. They stay together, and I tell people in the beginning, I have this weird magical thing I do. I'm not sure exactly.
Is there a rabbit in a hat involved? Because I like to see this.
But what I tell them is that I many times people do stay together in the process, and that if you really want to break up, I'm not that breakup expert, because we're going to do the hard work and we're going to connect, and people love it. I'm busy. I don't take insurance, and I'm busy. I can't even get enough time to breathe hardly in the day.
Wow.
Like,
So what is it like at that ending point? Like, they find out that the person they've been trying to get the thing doesn't have it. You're healing it from the inside. So is it that they don't need it anymore because that space is healed?
yeah, once I know that it's not really my husband that's upsetting me and that my little girl has a need that she didn't get, and I can help her heal that.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I hope the management's listening to this.
and then my partner can hear it too. Guess what? So my husband is actually now cognizant of that, and he's like, hey, I want to be careful here. He heard in one of our dialogues that I never had a Barbie doll. My neighbor down the street had all these Barbies, and I never got to have a Barbie. I didn't have toys growing up.
Yeah. Star Wars. I had to have A-Team. I love A-Team, but everybody had Star Wars. What the heck? I'm gonna need a therapy after this one. All right. After we're off, we're gonna hour for just the stormtrooper. I wanted a stormtrooper. That's all I wanted. You have Yoda. It's cured. I'm cured. Done. We don't even have to go further. I'm done. That's the magic that Dawn does. Holy moly! I am cured.
I have the toys. But what he did was one day I came home and the Barbie doll was sitting on my pillow.
Oh, good man.
Just like a year ago. My first Barbie doll.
Your first Barbie doll. Good man. I bet the guy you're talking about is such a cool guy. He probably comes from a good family. I'm telling you, I bet he does. But anyways, J. Rob says, I'm trying to imagine what my husband could possibly have had when I met him that I was missing. She's talking. So J. Rob has a great husband. His name is Red. That's his name. His name's Willie Red. So she's trying to figure out what in the heck did Red have. Maybe it was that red hair. I don't know what it was, J. Rob, but you fell in love and now you're stuck with the man. So you just got to love it. And if you don't love it, make sure you follow and call Dawn because she'll make that thing happen. That Imago will come out, that magic. Next thing you know, you're playing with toys and she's got all kinds of toys. And that could be a good thing. It could be, I don't know. It could be a great go away, all kinds of places. It's crazy. Crazy.
That's a cool one. The Imago work is really amazing. And
maybe so, she said. Nice. That'd be awesome. Maybe he had a truck. J-Rob, when you met Red, I'm just guessing, did he have a truck? I bet he had a truck. Red's amazing. 23 years strong. I bet he has a truck. A man with a truck is a man. It's a good man. Man with the truck. I had a truck one, and I had to get rid of my truck. And I now have a family. Now I have a family Traverse. But I was, when you got the truck, you're pretty hip. It's pretty awesome. Crazy. So you have the couples therapy. She's got the relationship therapy. She's got the recovery therapy, right, for people that are dealing with drugs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Nice. So I'm right. J. Rob said he did have a truck, 100%. See, I should be a therapist. Holy moly!
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Crazy.
Yeah. We're starting workshops pretty soon as well. We'll be doing couples workshops where you can jump on Friday evenings, or we haven't chosen which day yet. Probably a weekend day, and we'll have couples on, and they can ask questions or they can process with me, and I can give them different topics.
And it's on a Zoom. Oh, it's free?
No, it won't be free. We haven't figured out the price yet.
So there'll be a price. So it'll be a seminar, and then you're going to sign up to the seminar. They'll send you a Zoom link, and then you'll be inside the window there asking different questions based on your situation. And it's probably going to help because you're going to have many Imagos in the room, and they're going to be talking about their different situations and getting different helping each other. It's kind of a fellowship where everybody's helping each other out. They're like, oh dude, we're not, maybe they're gonna be like, oh, we're not as bad as them, I guess we're okay. right?
I hope that doesn't go like that. I hope it's a collaborative, exciting experience.
That happens. That happened to me a lot. Like when I would go to, I went to like counseling groups a couple times, and it only took once because it only takes once sometimes. If you're like I went to one for anxiety. Like I have general anxiety, so I went to one for anxiety. Dude, they had me like scheduled for like 20 weeks. I just went to one session with all these crazy people, and I was like, oh, I'm good. Dude, I'm not them. That chick trying to jump out of a taxi. That dude trying to bark on his dog. That guy freaking talks to bunny rabbits and stuff like that. I'm good. Thank you so much. That $20 was the best $20 I spent in my life. I was cured that one day. Hallelujah. I was cured by the whole thing. Thank you, Kaiser. Shout out to Kaiser.org. Kaiser, if you want to sponsor me, patreon.com/raceflames. Hit me up. Fantastic. Holy moly. Dawn, thank you so much I think you got to come back. Am I right here?
I will.
You need to come back every month. Come up with a situation, something that we all need help with, something that can help the audience, that can bring value and help us get through this crazy life. I feel good. I don't know about you guys in the chat. Talking to Dawn has made me feel amazing. I can't imagine being on her. Look at that little chair right there. Look at the chair with the little designs, with the 70s. What do you call that? That pastel. What do you call that? The material.
That's a quilt. It's called. That's a quilt that I made.
You made a quilt?
Yeah, during my difficult time.
Do you have quilting sessions too?
I would love that.
Dude, imagine if you did therapy with quilting. I gotta be your marketing person.
Yeah, these are all quilts here.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine just sitting right there, talking about your problems, doing a quilt with Dawn, working through the stitches, working through the patterns, talking to that little girl or that little boy, and then it all gets fixed right there in Dawn's office. Windows of Hope, ladies and gentlemen. Exclamation windows in the chat. If you want to get fixed, hit up Dawn right there. She'll take care of you. Painting Paw says, we don't say crazy anymore. Oh, sorry, that was politically uncorrect of me. Not crazy, difficult. Is that the word? What's the word?
Growth edge.
Growth edge.
Yeah, and we're wonderful. We're in our parts, and we're working through them, and everything is workable. We can work through it.
Nice, awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn. I don't think you answered everything because you made the problems. It's not a problem anymore. It's our growth challenge. It's our outer edge that we're working on. It's our inner child. It's the things that we think we're missing that aren't really missing, that things that she can only work on. This is an expert, ladies and gentlemen. This is a master's in psychology. This is somebody that's been doing counseling for over 40 years. She knows what she's talking about. She knows how to get you to that place where it's like, everything's gonna be all right. Please hit up Dawn, Windows of Hope in Long Beach. Get yourself a session. Get yourself a session with her, one of her counselors. You're going to be taken care of. They're going to give you a killer rate. If you mention Raise Flaves, she's going to give you a 1.2% discount. Make sure you mention Raise Flaves. That's 1.2%. It's going to be amazing. Delulu, great show. Thank you so much, J-Rob. Thank you for popping in. Juice Gang Gang. Stay thirsty, my friends. Not dangerous. You have a great weekend. And if you need help, hit up Dawn. Have a great one.